The man in the Biosphere Committee will spearhead a consultation on ending the use of single-use plastics and styrofoam that are not only harmful to the environment but pose a deadly risk to marine life in our country's waters. Telca Daniel-Wallace, National Coordinator of the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve, Ms. Lynelle Morton, Environmental Officer, and Dr. Kimberly Stuart, Director with the St. Kitts Turtle Monitoring Network, discussed the banning and replacement of single-use plastics and styrofoam food containers on an SKNIS InFocus program hosted by Ian Richards. Dr. Stuart pointed to plastics that are creating all manner of dangers for turtles that return to St. Kitts and Nevis to lay their eggs, threatening their ability to survive.
Single-use plastics cause a gauntlet of issues for wildlife. In particular for sea turtles, ingestion and entanglement are two of the primary issues. So these animals are consuming plastics in the water. Of all 7 species, at some point in their life cycle, they like to eat jellyfish. Leatherbacks as adults primarily feed on jellyfish entirely, so they see these plastic bags in the water and they think it's a jellyfish. And recent research has also demonstrated that the scent attracts them as well, because when it's in the ocean for a while, algae is building up on it and things of that nature, and so it even smells enticing to them. So from that perspective, it's important because some studies have documented over 83% of sea turtles have plastic within their GI. It can be fatal depending on how much is there. We've had cases of entanglement. This is worldwide, but in St. Kitts specifically, where we've had to amputate flippers from sea turtles. So seeing these things removed from the environment is incredibly important. Also, we think about these large pieces of plastic, but when we dig further, we know they break up in the environment, and we have microplastics, and they enter the sand. And in the case of these incubating sea turtle nests, oftentimes they increase temperatures. And we say with sea turtles, hot chicks and cool dudes, because their sex is determined by the temperature of the sand. So some of these issues are well beyond these large pieces of plastic, and they can actually skew populations to be more female versus male. So these are things that we consider very important, of course.
As part of the process of ending the use of single-use plastics and styrofoam food containers, stakeholders will come together shortly to discuss all relevant issues that must be considered.
The national consultation that is being envisaged, it comes out of the information that we would have gathered from the communities. And so it would inform media packaging, because it's a sensitization project. It would inform media packaging of how we approach, how we speak to people about the elimination of the use of plastics. When we get that information and we analyze it to see how people feel, then we can package our communication to be less threatening, to be more informative about what can be used and assist the government thrust in the elimination of the plastics. Now, the consultation would be about all of our stakeholders, especially at the community level and the government level. All of us would come together to look at the way forward. We are looking at not just the consultation, but the spin-off from the consultation, looking at community activities that we can piggyback on, looking at other community, within the community consultations.
Public interest is increasing over what alternatives would be used to replace the widespread use of single-use plastics and styrofoam food containers in the Federation. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.